Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to resurface your countertops. In Quebec, people don't have to give a damage deposit, so they don't take good care of the places. This countertop got burned because somebody just put their hot pan from frying on there. So there's no point in putting a new one in because the next tenant will do the same thing and not take care of the place. So I'm going to show you how to fix this in a cheap way. So first we're going to sand this. I'm using quite a bit heavy grit here. I'm starting with 80 grit just because I have to level this out. I have to level this out and I have to get rid of this paint here. So I have to level all this out with the 80 grit. Get it all sanded properly. You can fill in the gaps. We're going to fill in the gaps with some Bondo. It's basically a fiberglass paste. So you have to mix it up with its hardener. Basically, it's just like patching your holes in your wall. I had a lot of experience from doing that over the years. So you gotta mix that in thoroughly. So once you have it mixed up, you can start applying it. And then you lay it down as flat as you can, because we're going to come back and sand this down. So you want it to be as flat as possible. This dries pretty quick, but it still gives you time to work it. 15-20 minutes, this should be pretty hard. I've got the leisure. I can actually wait till tomorrow, so I'm going to do just that. I took 2 minutes to tape everything because from now on it's going to be a dusty operation. The next day everything's dry. Now this is the step where everything gets real dusty. I'm still using 220 on this. I'm going to be a couple minutes sanding. Now because I want this to be flat, I have to get it to where it's almost translucent. You can see the hole there through the translucent, which means I'm applying the minimum amount of filler. And I check to see if it's straight by making the counter wet. That will reveal if there's any problems. The wet surface will reveal all the little flaws. Like here, I'm not 100% happy with this area here. It's a little too high, so I'm going to see if I can maybe correct that a bit. The water will reveal every little flaw. Just like out of body shop, I'm going to put spot putty on everything, and that will also tell me if there's low and high spots. And at the same time, it will cover some of the little marks here, just like body shop. This is moving right along. Now I'm going to sand it with 220 grit. Once you got it to where it's almost transparent, you can continue by hand. So I'm using progressively at the higher number of grit, which which is getting finer and finer sandpaper. So I'm going to do a crosshatch pattern, and then like this. And then I'll still check it with water, with reflections. But that looks very, very good. This is what you want. You want it to be sort of transparent. So you can see in the reflection, everything still looks good. So I'll be bringing some primer at this point. You see all these marks here, the sanding marks, the putty covers that, and then the primer will cover even more. So very thin coats is what you're looking for. And it's no race, you can take your time. So wet sanding with some 600. And then I'll do one more coat of primer. You see this area which looks matte? That is what the primer covers. So I'm gonna wet sand this, and then we're gonna coat a primer, and then we're gonna be ready to paint. Take a piece of aluminum foil and line down your pan like that. That way you can reuse it. And how this works is the roller, it will help you get an even application of paint. It evens out the paint, and then the brush, a high quality brush for this, and then the brush will allow you to just even it out so you have a professional looking finish. You could spray paint this. There's nothing preventing you from doing that, but I prefer to do this technique because it doesn't send too much fumes around, and I want to avoid that. You could also do a professional looking job just by using epoxy paint. Me, I'm going for a cheap finish, which is Tremclad or Rust-Oleum. There you go, Tremclad. That should do a good job for me. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of this action. So the roller allows you to have it evenly coated. And I cannot reach the corner, so I can use my brush for that. So you get an even coat with the roller, and then the brush will allow you to come in and make it a very flat looking. So I'm using a good quality roller here, and then I'll come in with the brush and I will get rid of all these little bumps from the roller, and they do give you a little bit of time to perfect it. So you do a little section at a time, and then you move into the next section. So that's just one coat. I'm going to leave this to dry for a couple of days. That's the secret. Once you're done, don't touch it. And then that gives me the opportunity to rent out the place. It looks good enough. It's going to look brand new in the pictures, so that I can rent out the place. If I get a really, really good tenant, I still have options here. I can put a brand new quartz countertop. I can do whatever I like. And then if I get a really bad tenant that cuts his carrots on the countertop without using a cutting board, then, well, I didn't waste all my money for nothing. Well, I hope this was useful to you. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.